Channel 5, KTLA.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the gallery. I'm Johnny Grant. My guests today, well, two of them are here already, recently appeared on the Hope Starmaker program, and Bob is doing a benefit for the people out at the South Bay Youth Theater Guild that we'll be telling you about this morning. First, seated next to me is Quinn Kessler. How are you, Quinn? Good to see you. You were voted an 11, weren't you?
That's right.
Right, and I got to tell you, Rhonda Shear's boyfriend thought she was an 11, so he gave her an 11 to wear around her neck there.
Huh? Supposed to say that on television?
What, did you have a boyfriend?
That's right.
But which one? Yeah, see, that's the whole thing. And she's our former Miss Press Club. It's nice to see you again.
Same here.
I got to ask you a lot of questions about what's happened as a result of that instant national exposure you all got.
Great.
And,
good things.
Good things, all right. And then later this morning, this being April the 1st, gracious, can you believe that? It's April Fool's Day.
Oh.
And
no jokes today.
No jokes about that. Absolutely
like that.
not. This is the day the census begins. And Maria Contreras, who is a district manager of the Southeast Area U.S. Census Bureau team, is going to be here to remind you about that. And then the director of the Summer Program Community Development Department, Jane Dawson, is going to be with us. So it'll be a busy morning. And I think we ought to take that little break right now and then come back and talk to our two lovely first guests. Okay? You ready for it?
I'm ready.
Ready to
No
go.
April Fool.
Hey, Dan, I heard you quit smoking, too. Are you climbing the walls like I am?
I went to Schick, Ted. I don't crave cigarettes anymore.
Oh, come on. You wouldn't give your eye teeth for one right now?
No. Schick uses mild counter-conditioning that helps overcome the urge to smoke. I never felt better.
Yeah? But how do I know Schick could work for me?
Schick guarantees you'll stop smoking in 5 days or your money back. What have you got to lose?
In Los Angeles, call 520-8000.
Skipper, come quick.
What's the matter?
No, it's Gilligan. He's put the jetpack on. He's going to launch himself to Hawaii.
Gilligan, why can't you stay out of trouble?
All right, I give up. Come and get me. Don't play with me like a mouse. Come on, get it over with.
Mischief Means Comedy on Gilligans Island today at 4:30.
When's it going to happen?
I said Gilligan today at 4:30 on Channel 5.
On the next explosive episode of Emergency Watch.
Hold it! Don't drop it again. There's somebody in there.
He's got a flailed chest. And look at this.
Mel caught his arm in a block. One of my men is going to come up to you on that crane in about a minute, so just hang on.
Watch the next episode of Emergency tonight at 5 on Channel 5.
Countdown to cure.
It's just a matter of time before we stop a killer.
Leukemia causes the death of more children than any other disease.
And more adults than children.
Research by the Leukemia Society of America has brought us very close to finding a cure.
This close.
But we need your help to continue the fight.
It'll be a happy day when we can put an end to this killer.
It's a matter of time.
Okay, we're back with our first guest now. They are Quinn Kessler, who is seated next to me, and Rhonda Shear. You ladies appeared on the Hope Starmaker special. What happened? You were voted an 11.
That's right. It was wonderful.
Right. That had to be
chosen
tough.
From 200 women that went out for an open call. And it was exciting because they brought back 36 girls, and then Bob Hope himself narrowed it down to the final
how do you feel, though, when you go out to what you call an open call?
Oh.
There's all those gorgeous women.
Difficult.
Is it difficult?
Yes, it's very difficult. But, you know, it's fun. It's lots of fun because it's a challenge. It's exciting, and you meet lots of nice people. It's a challenge to make yourself different because there's so many beautiful women. I would imagine that they would get confused. So it's a challenge to show that.
So you took a few minutes and said, now how am I going to make them remember me from all of that pulchritude?
That's it.
What did you do? What did you do?
What did I do? I did mime. Bob Hope likes mime. And also, I got up to the judges' table, and I told them that I was a dancer. So I kicked my foot, and my shoe flew off onto the judges' table. And I said, you see, now that I caught your attention, I must make a graceful exit.
And that's the way you did it. So you got called back. What did you do?
Well, I didn't do anything too different.
You kind of just sleeked in, huh?
That's right. I was really nervous, and I told them I was nervous, and they appreciated that. And I talked. It wasn't anything like Rhonda. She had the best one with her shoe.
Now, you have done a film. You did one before this. Was it in Europe?
Yes, it was. It was a film with Jean-Paul Belmondo, and I was a James Bond girl, from United States James Bond girl.
How about that?
Yes, it was
That's
very
interesting.
nice.
And she was our Miss Press Club.
Yeah.
And still do things for the Press Club.
I still do things for the Press Club. I rode in both Rose Parades this past year. Career-wise, things have been going really well. I've gotten into comedy. I've done 2 Happy Days.
Well, now, didn't you just also do a thing about how difficult it is to break into this business for a girl for pay TV?
For a home box office, a show called Hollywood. They did a whole segment on me, So You Want to Be a Star. And it was great because it really covered what one has to go through in Hollywood to make it. And since the Bob Hope special, I've just done a Misadventures of Sheriff Lobo. So good things have been happening. Because
I think you got something from that show, didn't you?
Oh, yes, quite a few things. A lot of commercials and a movie with Anthony Quinn coming up soon.
And a couple of things you can't talk about.
Right, a couple of things you can't talk about, not till they happen.
I guess that's one of the first things you learn in town, is not to talk about it until it's on the dotted line.
That's much better that way. Then you don't look too much forward to it, because something always happens. That's true, though, about Bob Hope being a star maker. I really think that everyone that he touches, good things happen. Really. He's wonderful. I know that that there was so much publicity run on the fact of him choosing 6'11s. I was an instant star in New Orleans, my hometown. They had quite a bit of coverage there.
Did you get a big rating down there?
Oh, a tremendous rating in New Orleans.
Did you get a lot of phone calls now when you have a national show on like that?
Oh, yes. I got lots of phone calls, but you have to watch, the phone calls, and you talk like the
how
agent.
difficult is it for pretty girls in this town? How difficult is it now? You've got guys like me calling you up saying, come down and go on a show.
Oh, that's nice. We love it.
No, but you've got to watch it's difficult to sort them out, isn't it?
That's right. It is difficult. I mean, you have to be careful, but usually everybody means well, and everybody likes pretty women, and it's
Can't
nothing.
blame them for that,
right,
can you?
that's right.
I have some figures here that I wanted to talk to you about. But that is why you'd really want to be in this business and not just settle down or something. Because the statistics show that approximately there are 3 men's roles to every woman's role. So it's a tough business. Yes. But you don't mind that?
We love competition. I love it. It's nice. No, I love it. I always have. I majored in communications and theater arts at Loyola in New Orleans. And even before I came out here, I ran for public office. Politics was the closest thing to showbiz I could find in New Orleans.
What kind of office did you run for?
I ran for Register of Conveyances. The office records all the real estate transactions for the city. But it helped me out so much because if you can run a campaign, it's running a career.
Okay, now beauty is, as I say, skin deep, but you have to stay in excellent shape. What kind of health? How do you stay in such great shape? How do you do it?
Well, I diet, of course, and when I'm gaining weight, I just try not to eat, and I stay away from sugar if I can, because I think that maybe will make me gain weight more than anything else. And I go to the gym. I work out at the gym every day, exercise classes as much as I can. And sports. I love to horseback ride and play tennis.
So that's the way you stay.
Right. I find the best exercise is doing this at the table.
Just pushing it away.
Pushing it away.
Well, all right. I want to get a plug in here right now. Really, the reason I wanted you to meet these lovely ladies, and they're going to be doing well, and you'll be hearing a lot more from them. But there's a big benefit on Saturday, April 5th, and it's out at the El Camino Auditorium. Now, I've got all the facts and figures here. And let me just read off a couple of things for you. Okay. I think we're going to get all the 11s together and go out and surprise them.
Oh, that would be
Wouldn't that be funny?
Yes,
at least 2 of them, huh?
Can we make you the honorary male 11?
Oh, I love that. I love that. I'll drive. Are you looking for a chauffeur? Is that what it is?
You can be the
all right. Now, it's to benefit the South Bay Youth Theater Guild, and it's going to be held at the El Camino Auditorium out at the college there, and they have room for about 2,000 people, and the tickets are tax deductible. Now, here's what it is. It'll be a big night. It'll be the Big Band Festival of the Fabulous 40s. And the Helen Forrest, the Pied Pipers, a big swinging band, and the whole thing. And the special guest star will be Bob Hope. And some of the 11s seated in the audience.
But we'll surprise him. We can't let him know.
Well, he's not in town, so he won't know the whole thing. Now, let me tell you a little more about what they do. They make a lot of presentations for the kids. And they also provide interpreters for the hearing impaired at all shows, which is nice. They provide for chaperone groups of autistic children. Children pay no admission if unable to pay. And the acutely physically handicapped are welcome. And their REACH program brings groups of children in. So they're doing a great thing in the community out there. And I hope that those of you who want to see Bob in one of his rare appearances around here, we'll go out to the show. And Helen Forrest, of course, has a legion of fans. And the Pied Pipers. And then a big swinging band.
Wow, it's a great cause. We'll be there. We'll be there. I hope everyone else.
Now, let me ask you all just a couple more questions about what your future plans entail, what you want to do and all that. That maybe somebody's watching this morning, they'll hear you. And, so you did a James Bond role. Right.
Yes. Well...
Yeah, I got a follow-up.
Right.
Did it require a lot of acting ability?
Well, it was mostly, it required a little bit. I had to do it in French, so I had to, of course, learn my French, which I didn't know before. And it wasn't too difficult to play that part. It was just for a girl, and I like the adventure. I like to be the detective type of a girl. So it wasn't too difficult. It was a lot of fun. We did it in Venice, Italy. It was very nice.
Now, you've ridden in the Rose Parade twice.
Yes. I have.
Eleanor Moore arranged that for you, didn't she?
She sure did. She was wonderful, and I had a great time, and they invited me back next year.
Now, this all started because you entered a contest.
That's right.
A lot of people put contests down.
Yes.
How do you all feel about them? You must like them.
No, I don't. It's not really my type of a thing, the competition and doing. I've never really done that type of competition before, but I love to watch them, and I think it's great, the girls who do it.
Yeah, but you sort of were in one.
Oh, yeah, in this type for this interview, I guess it was a beauty contest, the first one.
And then the one you were in was definitely a contest, Miss Press Club.
Miss Press Club, and I was also a former Miss Louisiana, and it was very good for me, because I think it helped me, it brought me out, it enabled me to do quite a bit of traveling as a goodwill ambassadress for the state, and the Los Angeles Press Club has been great for me. It's helped me out. I mean, my interest is acting. I'm a serious actress, but at this time I've been getting into comedy, which I think I told you about.
Right.
He's laughing at me.
Well, no, that's good. That's what comedians are for. Well, hey, thank you all, and I know Bob appreciates you being here this morning to promote this big event on April 5th. And it's the South Bay Youth Theater Guild that will benefit from it, and it's at the El Camino Auditorium. And I want to give you a telephone number, if I have it here. I must have it. Yes, I do. It's 213-532-3670, and that's the college, and you can call for ticket information. Thank you all. But you don't have to move right now because I have to take a break, and we'll be back in just a moment.
This is Paul Michael Glaser, next on Starsky and Hutch.
What happened to her? What's going on? Anybody got the guts to answer my question?
What we're talking about here is a young lady that has been raped. She is spending time in a psycho ward in the county hospital while you are standing there and have the nerve to tell us about department policy about plea bargaining.
Don't miss the emotional drama of Strange Justice.
Biggs has Slate hostage up there.
The man that raped my daughter says he's going to kill me.
Watch Starsky and Hutch tonight at 6 on Channel 5.
Richie and Potsy visit Eddie's Pink Palace and find more than they expected on the next Happy Days Again.
Away we go.
Potsy, my father's here. Your dad. Turn your chair around or something. What if he sees us?
Then we'll die with a smile on our face.
Catch the fun on Happy Days Again tonight at 7 on Channel 5.
You may be aware of the great suffering and struggle and survival within our American Indian community today. But did you know that there are hundreds of Indian men and women trying hard to become self-sufficient as business owners and operators? Helping to make Indian self-reliance a reality is an Indian-managed team of experts called the United Indian Development Association, better known as UIDA. UIDA gives management and technical assistance to American Indians in the business world. It needs your help to expand its services throughout California. Large or small donations are needed. All are tax deductible. Professional volunteers in marketing, finance, accounting, and law are also welcome. I am Iron Eyes Cody, inviting you to support UIDA today so that more Indian men and women will have hope for tomorrow.
Maria Contreras is with us now, and she is from the U.S. Census Bureau. You're the district manager.
For the southeastern area of Los Angeles
good to
County.
see you.
Right, thank you.
Thank you. You ought to be in show business, too.
Oh, thank you. I doubt that.
You've had an interesting background. You took a leave of absence from a job, which was?
State Senator Joseph Montoya. I was his administrative assistant and legislative consultant.
Now you're ready to go out and tackle the world, aren't you?
I'm ready for it.
You're ready.
After you're a part of the census, you're ready for anything.
Well, this is the big day, isn't it? April 1st is the beginning.
This census is the largest we've ever had. It's the largest peacetime undertaking that our nation has been involved in. We're spending more, and just by the gesture that you've made by inviting us in typifies the importance of this census and how important it is.
Why is it so important that everybody be counted?
It's important for everybody to be counted because we allocate all our funding, all the federal funding for over 100 programs, federal programs, are distributed on the basis of the data that's collected through the Census Bureau. And you know that totals to over $50 billion that's allocated back.
I think some of the minority communities have lost out in previous allocations because they were not registered. Is that true?
That's true. I think one of the biggest concerns, I think, for example, in the Hispanic community, is simply that we haven't allayed their fears about the privacy, the confidentiality of the information that they disclose to us. And something that's really important that I'd like to share with your viewers is that this material will not be disclosed. The names will be disattached from the questionnaire and won't be disclosed for 72 years.
Then it won't matter, will it?
So after 72 years, I
don't care.
Right.
Right. So you can this morning assure confidentiality of any information on the census form?
Sure. When those forms are returned back to my office, we will submit them and process them through the FOSDIC computer machine, and that machine can only pick up the dots that are circled in and not any handwriting, so the names will not be included in the data that's disseminated to the public and the private sector for use in determining different service programs and different community needs throughout the country.
So you're telling me that no other government agency gets the information?
No other agency.
Well, then, let's all do it. What if, now suppose on this date we have not received the questionnaire. What do we do?
If you haven't received a questionnaire, what happens is that you'll soon have a visit from a census taker because we have every household listed. And so if we don't get a questionnaire, we're going to send a census taker out, and only if we don't get the questionnaire automatically returned through the mail.
Oh, you mean if, like, my house didn't mail one back, somebody would come see me?
That's correct.
Oh.
That's the purpose of the census taker, is to provide assistance to the folks in the household unit in filling out the form.
Well, is it faster to wait for the guy to come or gal to come visit you?
No. If I didn't get my form by this day, I would prefer that your viewers call their local census office and request a questionnaire.
Now, is there any way that can, well, double check? Who double checks the information?
We've had an incredible amount of checking. We purchased every list that we could get from the public and the private sector, composed that all into a master register. Then we sent out census takers into the community to confirm that our master register was up to date. We added and deleted homes where needed. And then after that, we had the postal carriers go back out and update it once more. So I think we've got every household unit listed.
Now you're supposed to mail them in. But there's certain areas you're supposed to hold on to them.
But in California, everybody is supposed to return them. That's correct. And I want to remind you that an undercount this year will probably mean an undercount for 9 more years, because if you remember that this is a 10-year count, then that means if you're not counted this year, your community will lose its funds for you for the next 9 years.
Okay. Suppose somebody doesn't quite understand it. There will be a few of us, probably me included. Who do we call?
On the questionnaire, there's a phone number that they may call to have somebody provide assistance to them through the telephone. If they feel that they need more assistance than somebody merely talking to them over the telephone, then they may call that number and ask that a census taker come out to their home.
Okay, you got about a half a minute. Look right in there and tell them how important it is. Today is the day.
Today is the day. That's true. Today's the day. Remember that this is not April Fool's Day. This is not monkey business. This is the day to fill it out, to help your community. It truly, literally pays to be counted.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming about and remind us.
I want to thank you so much for this opportunity because, again, it just helps our community so much. There's so many, as I've gone out throughout the community and I've seen how, especially in my area, the services that are needed in those areas, and to think that those are the very people that aren't as willing to cooperate.
Okay, you cooperate. Help this young lady. Look at that beautiful smile. You want to help her, I know, and help yourself. Maria Contreras, thank you so much.
Thank you, John.
And I'll be back in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen, with Jane Dawson.
Why did Pam Shaver go to Schick to lose weight?
I had tried everything. Woman knows, and nothing had worked for me.
Then you went to Schick.
It was nothing that I had expected. There weren't any pills or drugs or unusual things happening. It really was just helping you get your habits together in a good way.
In Los Angeles, call 520-8000. Wednesday night at 8 with only 2 interruptions. Earth faces the deadly threat of Monster Zero.
I am the controller of Planet X. To the people of the Earth, I command that you obey the following orders.
Orders? He must either attack them now or surrender to them.
Planet X unleashes the terrifying Monster Zero. Wednesday night at 8 on Channel 5.
Anaheim Stadium. It's quiet now except for construction, but it'll be alive on Friday night, April the 11th. That's the night the Angels open the 1980 American League home season against the Cleveland Indians. We hope you'll join us live with all the action right here on KTLA Channel 5, April 11th at 7:30.
6 out of 10 Hispanic youths drop out of school, imagine. Unfortunately, dropping out of school causes a shortage of Hispanic professionals in law, medicine, engineering. To accomplish anything in life, we all need goals. Boy Scouts learn how to set goals and how to meet them by developing good habits and self-discipline. The Boy Scout program has benefited millions of young men. You and your son could enjoy a new life together in the Boy Scouts of America.
My next guest is Jane Dawson, and Jane and I are going to be talking about the Summer Youth Employment Program. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And it's sponsored by the city, federally funded.
That is correct.
We got it. Okay. Who's eligible?
Any young person who lives in the city of Los Angeles between 14 and 21 who meets what we call the poverty guideline, that is established by the federal government, the amount of money that the family can earn, or who is on welfare is eligible.
Now, we say the summer program. Exactly what are we talking about?
The program starts on the 7th of July and ends on August 29th. That means the kids have 8 weeks of work. They get paid $3.10 an hour.
Gee, can they work an unlimited number of hours?
No, they can't.
I'm sure they'd all like to, huh?
In order to serve as many young people as we possibly can, we have limited their hours to 25 hours a week.
So they can make $75, huh? 3 times 25? Yes. $75. That's good.
Yes.
Wish I could have made that much during the summer, huh? In those days.
Well, we didn't have as much inflation when we were young either.
That's true. You're absolutely right. Okay, now how did the kids let you know they want to work? How do you find them? Or how do they find you?
All right. Well, you have some leaflets over there, Johnny.
Oh, okay. I'll give you a couple of them.
All right. Now, we've distributed about 20,000 of these leaflets throughout the city of Los Angeles, trying to reach the young people who are eligible. And on the back of the leaflet, we have the addresses of all the state employment development departments. That's the employment offices for the state of California.
Oh, there it is on the screen. We've got the big one right up there. They're showing it.
Oh, good. And this is where the young people go to apply. They should go to the address on the back of the leaflet that is nearest to their home.
Right. I noticed something that says very important. New regulations require early application and proof of eligibility.
Yes.
What does that mean?
In order to verify that these young people are indeed eligible for the program, we verify that they do live in the city, that the income they give us is correct, and that the age they give us is correct. In order to do that, they must apply before the 31st of April. That is, this month is the big month for them to apply. Then during the month of May and June, prior to the beginning of the program, we will be verifying their eligibility to be on the program.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you, I'm going to mention just a couple of things, and then we'll knock off the eligibility requirements for them. They must be between the ages of?
14 and 21.
Okay. And a resident of?
City of Los Angeles.
Okay. And it says here, family income does not exceed the federal poverty income guidelines. That would get complicated to try to explain here.
Very complicated, but believe me, it is very low.
Now, what must they have in their wallet for identification? Every one of us has one.
When they apply, they do not need anything for identification. When they go to the state employment office, it would be good if they did bring identification. They do not need to.
Not even a social security card?
Social security number, if they have it. They will subsequently be called in for an interview if they are selected for an interview. And at that time, they will be told what documents they need to bring in.
Now, if they're 17 years or less, they need a work permit, too.
Yes, and they get that from the school, the last high school they attended.
Excuse me. It says here, have a legal right to work if not a U.S. citizen. What does that mean?
Well, there are several ways in which non-U.S. citizens can work in the United States, but they must prove that they have this right to work.
Now, just coming down and filling out a form is not a guarantee of a job, is it?
It certainly is not. We get about 60 to 70,000 applications, and we will have around 12,000 jobs.
Good gracious. Now, who has the awesome job of deciding who gets those jobs?
We choose them at random so that every young person who applies has an equal chance. In other words, if there are 100 applicants in a given office, well, it would be more like 1,000 applicants, and there were going to be 200 jobs in that particular community, then it would be chosen at random out of that box. Now, the jobs are allocated to the communities of Los Angeles based on the percentage of youth in poverty that live in that community, so that it isn't scattered throughout, but the concentration is taken from those areas where the greatest amount of poverty exists.
Then this is really out of the Community Development Agency, isn't it?
Yes, the Community Development Department of Los Angeles.
Of the City of Los Angeles. Yep. Okay, what kind of jobs are we talking about, Jane?
Well, very exciting jobs, some of them, and some of them not so exciting.
Well, at $3 an hour, they're all exciting.
Well, that's right. They work in child care centers, senior citizen centers. They help clean the parks. They help street maintenance clean the streets. They work in the animal regulation. Last year we had a marvelous program with the fire department up in the hills where the floods had been, and we're going to have another one this year, working on the fire trails. They do, a lot of them do office work, learn filing, typing, how to answer a telephone. One of the main things the program is trying to do is teach young people what working is like. And it isn't so much the particular skill that they'll learn as it is learning how to work.
We only have half a minute. Where do they apply?
At the State Employment Development Department office nearest to their home. They can look in the white pages under the California State of Underemployment, and they can find the address.
Okay, and do it now, because you don't have too much time. And be sure to fill out everything correctly, and who knows, maybe you'll get one of the jobs. Jane, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jane Dawson. I want to thank all of my guests today, and that's about it for this morning, this April Fool's Day. I hope it'll be a good day for you, and don't let them get you too many times, huh? I'm Johnny Grant. Thank you for joining us on The Gallery.
Wait.